good. You're still fine.
Just stick it
You're
back
gonna
on.
bring me a piece of block.
No, that's not a block.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
When I said I think this engine's been rebuilt recently, look at those engine mounts. Howdy, welcome back to the Addicted Motors YouTube channel. My name is Troy, and in this video, it's gonna be slightly different. I'm gonna go through and show you some clips of what we've been up to in the last few weeks in Rover. Now, the biggest bummer is I don't have any updates with the red Rescue Rover. I'm still waiting for a fuel pump, so I can't really do much with that one. But what I have in the background is my other project Rovers that are now projects that weren't projects a few weeks ago. So we'll jump into that in a second. But what I first want to talk about is where my other vehicles are for the moment, because usually the 7.3 F250 goes there and the diesel BMW X5 goes up there. But they aren't here. The X5, man, I messed up with that one. I haven't featured on the channel for a while just because it's just been in and out of the shop more than I've had it at my house. We did a bunch of things to it. It's a little quicker, it's tuned and stuff now. We did thousands of dollars worth of maintenance, valve cover gaskets, all 4 thermostats, all this wild stuff, metal coolant hoses. I'm not a BMW guy, but I'm steadily learning and I'm still getting disheartened because I think I should have stuck with what I know, which is old crappy Land Rovers. But that one's got a smoking startup, a little bit of white smoke. I think the EGR cooler or valve is leaking, so that's where that is. So Cindy has been driving the backup Rover, the trusty L322. So that one is the only one without any major issues right now. But she was supposed to be driving her gold Rover, which is right there with the hood up, and let's get into that. So the hood is up and everything because I took this to the cabin, and since I've owned it, I haven't liked the temperatures that it's been running. It's been running around 203 to 206 on the highway, around 75, 80 with the AC on and whatnot. And I know 4.6 D2s do run a little bit warmer, but I need to get those temps down. So after that trip, if it's running hotter than I'd like, not in the red zone, it wasn't overheating or anything like that, but that's too hot. It should run cooler. I brought it back. I got a 180 degree thermostat and a new clutch fan. But, so I replaced that, and I didn't really film it because it's pretty easy. The thermostat's right there. You pull it off, take it off, pull the clutch fan out. The thing with these 03, 04 clutch fans is they're one piece. So the clutch fan that I bought to replace it, I need to buy a different style. So the 9902s, they've got the circular bit of the fan. This one's one piece, so I'm gonna get an older fan and stick it to the Brickport HD clutch they had over there and put that back together. But I'm glad I did all this because the belt needs to be replaced. I'm getting a new belt, but the big one is, you can't really see it, is that thermostat's leaking. Now I'm shooting this out of sequence, but I have this evacuator that I was using for something else. And I'm gonna try to suck all the coolant that I just put in after I did the thermostat out of the system, so I don't lose it because I know it's good. And when I take this water pump off, it's gonna make a huge mess. So we're gonna let that do its thing and pull it off that kind of the relief return. Yeah, so in the name of not making a huge mess, put some pressure into this. Oh yeah, that was a good idea. It's like reverse dialysis. So I was trying to figure out why I was losing a little bit of coolant and I couldn't find it. And then I saw it weeping, and I can't really show, not enough light here, but when a thermostat starts to fail, there's a little weep hole that will start leaking coolant and let you know that it's on its way out. Now, there was no symptoms or anything like that to lead up to me knowing that the water pump was going to fail. Honestly, I just saw the coolant leaking, and it wasn't overheat. I mean, so after I replaced the thermostat and everything, it was running 185. It went down, you know, that's 20 degree difference in temperature after I replaced that. So good news on that, bad news on the water pump. I ordered a new flow cooler. If you're gonna do any type of cooling work on these Rovers, get a flow cooler bits. It's good stuff. It's just a little more beefy and higher quality than you're gonna get from the OEM components, so that's coming in. So hopefully that'll seal the deal on the backup Rover for the backup Rover. But that's a whole nother mess. I was wondering why I wasn't able to siphon out the coolant that I just put in it after I did the thermostat, and it's because I couldn't pressurize the tank well enough because there's a hole in the thermostat. So that's good time. The Green Rover, it survived winter green. It's okay. I bent one of my track rods down there, so my alignment's off, so we're gonna work on that. The Classic has been pretty good. I did have to pull out the headliner completely after I just put one in. I guess I didn't realize that after 2 years of not having any maintenance to these drains for the sunroof, a couple of them had been terminally clogged, and it was just a waterfall in the interior of this truck. There was so much water, and it was bad. The seats were wet, everything was wet, so I junked that, threw that out. So we're gonna let that one be for a while. So those are the 3 Classic Rovers. The F-250 is at a shop in Maryland getting the transmission redone. The transmission don't work well. Well, I've been resetting it for the last year, getting slip codes, and it going into safe mode, up large inclines and whatnot. I think the torque converter was on its way out. I was dropping gears and whatnot. So I sent that to a gentleman in Maryland who's doing the rebuild. It came highly recommended. He builded parts, that whole thing. So that will hopefully get the 7.3 back in a couple weeks so we can figure out where we are with that. But that's blowing most of the mechanical fixing budget for the year on that truck. But I need that thing to be able to tow and whatnot when I need it. So that will restore a little bit of trust in it. All right, so now we're gonna jump into the rest of the video. We've had some mishaps in the Rover world. We'll show that's a kind of a quick segment at the end. We also started working on the very rust-free, clean D2 we bought sight unseen at auction. You can check out the underside and the interior and what we're kind of doing with that, replace the headliner and whatnot, and getting into a few things and replacing the tailgate on the Classic, or at least tailgate glass. So again, kind of a different type of video, but I have a lot of things going on, so it's been tough to kind of film one formal video until that fuel pump goes, we can get back into Rover rescue. So, all right, stay tuned. This is my 89 Range Rover Classic, the one that started it all, my first Range Rover, the first Rover rescue. And it's kind of come a long way since I first got it. It runs now, which is a big improvement to how I found it after been sitting in a field for 20 years. But if you know Range Rover Classics, you know they are notorious for completely having rusted out tailgates, and I might have one of the worst tailgates I've ever seen on a Range Rover. Oh yeah, buddy. That runs deep. That is completely gone. I've been using a ratchet strap to hold it closed for the past few months because it's just that terrible. The problem though, oh, and a stick to keep the latch working. Yep, that's what we're doing here, fellas. The problem though is that this truck has some awesome period stickers on it from when it was first at the different events and whatnot in Virginia. Right there. Like I said, this truck has a little bit of heritage history, and it's a shame to lose that, but I would like to be able to close the back of it, and I got a new tailgate glass that came with the red truck. So today, we're gonna swap it out, and I think it's a lot heavier than I'm anticipating. So it seems pretty straightforward. We pop the struts off, buzz out the bolts, and the hinges, they stay in place. Swap the new one on. I'm not even gonna hook up any of the electronics. That never worked anyway for the heat, the defogging. That was all garbage. And just like that, 4 bolts and it comes off. It's a good way to break into these trucks. Now you know. So let's slap the new one on. It's a blank slate. It's gonna look weird, I think, without all the stickers. I'm not sure I can trust an old Range Rover with no stickers on. Well, this is going poorly. That's the reason why this hasn't sold, because the guy before did this and I've now made it worse. So we ended up getting it on. It was a big ordeal, but we got it sorted. Into the new D2. So it's been about a week since we purchased this sight unseen from an auction in New Mexico. Another one from New Mexico. And the truck's been actually very good. I've been driving around all week and probably put 100 and some miles on it. Put a lot of gas in it. You know, they're not the most fuel efficient of the vehicles. And we've started to make our list of things that we need to replace. We're going to start getting into that today. All right, first off, we've got these A-pillar plastic covers that always go bad on all discos, and we've now lost both of them, but that's okay. We lost them for a good reason because we fitted a new windshield, and this one was we got lucky on this because it's not a heated windshield, so it really reduced the cost of replacing that windshield. Price of glass has apparently gone up a lot due to the tariffs, so not trying to spend too much on the cosmetics if we're gonna find some more mechanical issues, but so far it's got a pretty darn clean bill of health. I gotta locate a mirror. I need to paint this roof, so that should be about 600 bucks or something. That's probably 60 bucks. But it all really adds up. So we're gonna pull this up on the 4-post lift and take a peek under the truck and check the diffs, grease the drive shafts, do all that fun stuff. Make sure that this thing is still good to go. But luckily the list isn't too long, unlike the list for that one. This one's more attainable, so we're gonna focus on it. All right, so let's take a peek under here, guys. And man, when I said I think this engine's been rebuilt recently, look at those engine mounts. Those look brand new. That is a very good sign. I see a decently new oil filter. I don't see any completely depleted bushings. Again, it's an old truck, but everything that I'm seeing here looks pretty good. You got a greasable drive shaft installed. Normal kind of oily seepage on the back of the engine and the transfer case. All that is nothing I'm overly concerned with, but everything else looks pretty darn good. And again, I mean, usually the discussion here is with the frame and issues towards the back of the truck and whatnot from rust, and I'm not seeing any of that popping up here. Let's get this from another vantage point, seeing the back around the rear brakes and everything. I mean, this is just, like I said, it's just pretty spotless and impressive. So that makes me very happy. I think what we're gonna do now is put a little grease in these drive shafts and check the differentials. And yeah, I think we're looking good. So we saw the new engine mounts, and now it already has the D2 brass fittings for the rear diff and the front diff, which means somebody knew what they were doing. Somebody liked this truck, and someone took care of this in the correct way. So we're just checking to see if it's got the proper amount of fluid. I don't see any leaks, so it should be okay. Yep, and there's fluid right there, and that looks pretty clean. Yep, there's the little drip you want to see. All right, so everything else is looking good. Gonna check the transfer case now. It's kind of hard to show, right? The easiest way to wedge your wrench above and across the exhaust manifold, and make sure you're doing the fill, not the drain. And it should start to come out. Well, I gotta put a few more turns on it. This is simple insurance. To ensure that no transfer case issue. All right, well, we're gonna get that. All right, so I stuck my finger in there, and it is topped off as it should be. So again, I'm just confirming the fact that this thing has been fully serviced before we bought it, and my suspicions have been confirmed for the better. I don't know, guys. I'm waiting for things to go south on me, and I'll probably regret these comments in the future. So that's it. Little fluid check complete. All 3 diffs, greased the shafts, checked everything else out, stroked the balls, the whole thing. And this thing is looking good. I don't think I have any action items that are pressing under the car. So let's get it down, and pull that headliner. Every time I'm doing headliners, it's in the heat. It's just never a good thing. You always break more than you do, so this part's less exciting. So this is not going to be a step-by-step informational video on how to pull a D2 slick top headliner. It is going to be slightly easier than other models just because there's no sunroof, so there's less bits to lose and break, but still there's enough that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass. You gotta remove these visors, you gotta move this whole apparatus, the light fixture parts, your A pillars, B pillars, C pillars, along with all your handles. And come back here. These skylights or ski lights, they're gonna hold in the rest of the headliner. So we're gonna get started, see how this goes. Just like that, it's out. It's like, 30 seconds and not the last
that down to a minute.
2.5 hours of complete chaos. This is well worth it. It's not worth it. We shouldn't have done it. So that wasn't a great video on how to pull a headliner, but that's the idea. Is it worth paying someone else to do it? Not really, because they're all going to break the same shit you're going to break, so you might as well break your own stuff. But now it's out. When you get that redone, and we're getting there. Gonna get some paint work too. This is kind of what goes into this kind of stuff, and I'll probably end up losing money on it. So, fun. Yeah. I think it needs it. When I fire it up.
Bye, love you.
So we're leaving Rovers and Coffee, and Jamie had just left, and he said his truck blew up. So we're gonna go see if he did blow up and where he blew up and what the cause of the blow up was, because that's not good. It smelled like fuel right before he left. I don't see him anywhere yet. Oh, I see him now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's the puddle?
Oil. Oil.
Rovers and Coffee. We're pulling the Rover, Max. But it's broken. Is it broken? I don't know. We don't know why it's broken yet.
When they put on the heads.
Oh.
Down here. Oh, the trim.
Oh, yeah. That's not supposed to be there.
I'm guessing they dropped it when they did.
Yeah, that looks like it's...
That sounds like it got blown out.
Yeah. Jesus. Fucking guillotine. Heads look like they look good. They're clean. Ow, that's exhaust. That's hot, but yeah. Oh no! Oh no! That's a good shit. Just stick it back in.
Oh shit! I thought you were gonna bring me a piece of block.
No, that's not a block.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
That's it. Yeah, but
Holy fuck!
I was like, that's a weird looking rock. So that is unfortunately the worst case scenario. You heard a bang, heard a pop, heard a splatter. I found a piece of the crank camshaft or something on the floor. There's a hole in the block. It doesn't really get worse than that I bought a cheap Land Rover World and it runs well because it wasn't doing anything There was no symptoms of oil starvation or anything. There was a misfire on cylinder 7. He got a code for it every once in a while, but it ran fine. And now the engine shot. It's the bottom end, so you got to pull the whole engine out. So if anyone has a 4-liter that is not prone to having pieces exit out the bottom, let us know. Or if anyone's interested in that truck itself, it's in very good condition actually. It's green. It's a 97 or 98, I believe. Rust free. Great truck, minus the engine small issues. So that was an unfortunate end to Rovers and Coffee this morning. It's a man down. It's a sad day.